Hey y'all, long time no see. Welcome back to my channel. My truth is, and today we'll be talking about how tenants will make or break your rental properties. So selecting the correct tenants based on, I believe, answering these three questions will help you detect whether these tenants are will be good for staying in your home or not. So back in 2015 when I started this, I was so green to finding tenants that it was mostly desperation that I would let people live in my home. I wouldn't do background checks. I would just take their word and allow them to live in my home because I'm just such a trusting individual, which I've learned you can't be trusting when you're a landlord. So back in 2015, I used to I did not vet my tenants, but I used to find my tenants on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. Now, I used to also have flyers and go to college campuses, post my flyers, post them like at the Starbucks and other stores that would allow you to put your flyers like on the board. I also was tacky enough to put a huge banner on my door so people would know where I'd live and come and ask me questions about if I had availabilities on at any property that I owned. And that was the dumbest thing ever. Do not let your potential tenants know where you live. I learned the hard way, so that's not even number one, but don't put any banner on your house stating that you have houses for rent, because people will knock all day, all night, asking for a favor or a hookup, and now they know your address and you can't get rid of them. Okay, so back then when I used to rent, searching for tenants on Craigslist, which was pretty much the only way that existed at the time. This was before I used Zillow, which I currently use, which is an amazing. But Craigslist, if you've never been on Craigslist, that's a positive. Don't ever go on Craigslist, because based on my experiences, my tenants were scammers, criminals, and complainers, and I did not have great luck on Craigslist. But the first time I selected my tenants, they were all on Craigslist. It was 4 people, and they told me that they were students. They told me they had jobs. I did not ask for a pay stub. I did not ask for a social security number. I just took their word in and was like, well, they're going to pay on time and they're going to take care of my home. And I was wrong. They destroyed my home, complained about everything, and thousands of dollars was wasted on these tenants. And then I proceeded to do eviction, and we'll talk about eviction in another video. But vetting your tenants is the number one way to prevent spending money on your property and making sure these are people that's going to take care of your home. So now when I'm searching for tenants, I let them reach out to me. I use Zillow primarily, or it's by word of mouth. And before I even show you the home, tell you anything about the home, you reach out to me and I ask you these 3 questions. So the first questions I ask is, how many people will be living in the home? I always ask this question because most of my properties are 4 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms. So if you tell me 1 person will be living in this home, well, that makes me think, well, can one person afford this rent? If you tell me, I don't know, 10 people are living in this home, well, that tells me that there will be more damage in my home because the house is not suitable for 10 people. So the amount of people is very important. I don't ask who they are relative to you because that does not matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're your mother, your brother, your wife. All that matters is the number of people that are going to be living in the home. And that will prevent a lot of issues, because the amount of people that live in the home will tell you whether the house will be overcrowded and whether they are more likely to take care of the property depending on how many people will be in the home. Now, the second question I asked is, what is the monthly income of everyone living in the house? Now, this question saves a lot of headache, because before I show you the home, I have to make sure that you can afford it. Because for me, being the landlord and the owner of the home, I'm the one that shows all my homes, which is very time consuming. So if I post a house and I get, let's see, I can get 10 people wanting to view the home. Back in 2015, I would have shown my house to all 10 plus people. Now, through my vetting process, I do not do that, because a lot of time is money is wasted on showing a home to people who don't even meet the basic guidelines for even living in the home. So asking them how much they make, I do not believe that they have to make 3 times the amount of rent, because that's just I understand why people do it, but some people just don't make 3 times the rent, but they are going to make that payment. I've seen it several times with me renting homes for the past 8 years. So, asking how much everyone's monthly income is definitely important. And the red flag is when they don't know how much they make a month, which may seem like you're critiquing the person, but if you ask someone how much they make a month and they don't know, that's red flags, because that just means your financials are not in order. And it's always surprising to me when I ask people how much you make a year, how much you make a month, what's your paycheck, and they do not know. I'm very conflicted when people answer that they do not know how much they make, because if you don't know how much you make, how do you know how much you're spending? How do you even know you can afford the rent? So that's always a red flag when I ask them how much is the monthly income of the entire house and no one knows that answer. Okay, moving along. The third question that I ask is, do you have any pets? Because based on my experience, pets have damaged my house, and depending on the tenant's interaction with me, I will or will not rent the home. I know that many of my tenants have what is it called? Special need dogs, which I'm fine with. So because they have that, there is no dog rent or dog fees associated. But I have never had issues with tenants who have, I think it's called an ESPA dog. If I'm wrong, then link it in the comments. It's something like that, where they have it for emotional dogs. If they have an emotional dog, they most likely will not cause damage to the home because they take care of their pets. So I don't have any issues with that. But it's those who do not have a special need dog. And I am amazed how many people have dogs and do not take care of them. So based on whether you have a dog or not, if it's a special need or not, that will sway me in deciding whether you could be a good tenant or not. So the reasons that I have these 3 questions that I always ask before showing the home is because, 1, it shows me your communication style. When I ask you these questions and you answer either 1 out of the 3 questions, that means that you're not communicating well and you're not giving me the answers that I need. So most than likely, you'll be a difficult tenant, because I am very straightforward. I communicate well. And if you cannot communicate well to me, just answering these 3 questions, more than likely you will not be renting my homes, because that'll be a problem, because I am not chasing tenants in 2023 on paying rent or setting up appointments to get things repaired in the home. So these 3 questions allow me to see your communication skills, as well as if you can afford the home or not. And 2, like I said previously, it's wasting time showing everyone who's interested in your rental home the home. Because, like I said, I'm the one that has to go to these houses, and most times, a lot of the times, I am stood up, which is a waste of time. But if you were able to answer these questions, these tell me that you were serious. So the likelihood of me being stood up at my property is less than. 2, like I said, at this age, at this stage of being a landlord and an owner, I ain't going back and forth with folks. So if you cannot answer these questions, no, you cannot view my property. No, because I have to have some type of requirements first before I show you my home. The 3rd is, I feel like I'm respected more when I give these guidelines. Like, oh, this is not a tenant that I can get over with. Oh, I can't tell I'm going to pay rent late every month, because I'm very direct. You meet me, I meet you. We've had a conversation. We know how this goes. If something breaks, then you know I'm going to fix it, because I am always tied to my phone, and you just text me and I will get it fixed. It shows that I respect my property, and I've had tenants always tell me, oh, wow, I've never met the actual property manager who also owns the home. Usually they're either a slumlord or is a third party that rents the home that don't really care. They're just trying to have people board in this house and just pay their mortgage, and don't really have any care for the home. And for my homes, these are my retirement properties, so I have to care for them. So, long story short, if you are a landlord, property management who wants to get into this, I would say definitely ask your potential prospective tenants these 3 questions, and I'll repeat them again. 1, how many people will be in the home? 2, what is the monthly income of everyone in the home? And 3, do you have any pets? This will save you money and time, vetting out your tenants before you even show them the property. So that's all I have for you today. So it's Jenny. My truth is, let's see, finding tenants is probably the most important thing when finding people to live into your home, because this is your retirement plan, this is your savings, and it's very important that you vet the people that comes into your home. And you cannot just trust people nowadays, because it will not work in your favor. So see you later. Have a good day. Bye.